Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Bobi, aka Paginator, and I'm here today with my December 2021 TBR game. Let's get right into the TBR game. As you know, for the past 6 months or so, I've been kind of doing things different with my TBR, varying from month to month. Last month I had students pick from Gavin's Believe-a-thon deck of cards, and I was able to read books based on the cards that they picked from that deck. This month we're going to continue to use those cards, but do it in a slightly different way. I am going to be using a random number generator to generate a number, and that corresponds to a card in the Believe-a-thon deck. Then, as long as I haven't already read that prompt since starting Believe-a-thon in November, I will pick a book that matches that prompt. If it hits a number of a prompt I've already done, we're going to pick something else because I am a completist and I'd like to get through all of the prompts at some point. So, that's what we're going to do. My game, my rules, I guess. Anyway, here we go. So I have a random number generator pulled up here on my iPad, and what I'd like to do is just tap it 3 times so that we get kind of a good mix of numbers. Okay, so we've got our number generator from 1 and 30, so we're going to tap once, tap twice, tap 3 times, and it gives us number 2. So card number 2 says, lost in the woods with sounds all around, get back to the camp before the rain starts to pound, read a book with a map. So the book I'm going to be choosing for this one is The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. It is G's Patreon book club pick for the month of December, and it does have a map right here. This says, when the gods fought, it was a battle so savage they destroyed themselves, leaving nothing but their bones and the broken land of Vigrid in their wake. Now as whispers of war echo over the fjords and across the plains, fate follows in the footsteps of 3 warriors, a huntress on a perilous quest, a noble woman pursuing battle fame, and a thrall seeking retribution among the mercenaries known as the Bloodsworn. All 3 will change the course of the world as it once more falls under the shadow of the gods. So I don't remember if I said this, but I am going to be doing 7 picks this month. Usually during the school year I only do 5 picks per month, but seeing as how it's December and I'm going to be getting a break from my thesis here pretty soon, at least for a couple of weeks, I want to just have more to read. So we're doing 7. Alright, let's do numbers again. 1, 2, 3, and it is number 12. Card number 12 says, before you a dragon that snaps at the pyre, there is only one way to avoid the hot fire. Read a book with a creature in the title. And that is going to work perfectly with The Wolf and the Woodsman by Ava Reid. I've been in kind of a mood to read this one, and now I get to. So, the dust jacket tells us, in her forest-veiled pagan village, Evike is the only woman without power, making her an outcast clearly abandoned by the gods. The villagers blame her corrupt bloodline. Excuse me. Her father was a Yehuli man, one of the much-loathed servants of the fanatical king. When soldiers arrive from the Holy Order of Woodsmen to claim a pagan girl for the king's blood sacrifice, Evike is betrayed by her fellow villagers and surrendered. But when monsters attack the woodsmen and their captive en route, slaughtering everyone but Evike and the cold, one-eyed captain, the 2 have no choice but to rely on each other. Except the captain is no ordinary woodsman. He is the disgraced prince Barony Gaspar, whose father needs pagan magic to consolidate his power. Gaspar fears that his cruelly zealous brother plans to seize the throne and instigate a violent reign that would damn the pagans and the Yehuli alike. As the son of a rivaled foreign queen, Gaspar understands what it's like to be an outcast, and he and Evike make a tenuous pact to stop his brother. As their mission takes them from bitter northern tundra to the smog-choked capital, their mutual loathing slowly turns to affection, bound by shared history of alienation and oppression. However, trust can easily turn to betrayal, and as Evike reconnects with her estranged father and discovers her own hidden magic, she and Gaspar need to decide whose side they're on and what they're willing to give up for a nation that never cared for them at all. So, again, that is The Wolf and the Woodsman by Ava Reid. Alright, for pick number 3, let's tap it again 1, 2, 3 times. Number 13. 13 is an Own Voices book, and I did do that one in the month of November, so let's try again. It gave me 13 again. Tap it one more time. 8. Card number 8 says, do not forget of your current obligations. When the series is over, you can start celebrations. Continue a series you're already reading. So for this one, I'm going to be reading Kingdom of the Curse by Carrie Maniscalco. This is a sequel to Kingdom of the Wicked, so it is a continuation of a series. And I'm probably going to read this one on audio because my checkout of this book came up through my state library system, so it's all downloaded and ready for me to start. Maybe I'll do like a mixture kind of thing where I read it and listen to it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But so you know what this is about. Remember, it is a sequel. So I'm going to try to leave out anything that's spoilery. So in the first book, Amelia is trying to avenge her sister's death. Her twin sister is killed suddenly. I think they're twins. Anyway, they're very close, and she is trying to avenge her sister's death, find justice, find the killer, etc. And she made a deal with Wrath, one of the princes of hell. Wrath cannot be trusted, as he is a prince of hell, and there's all kinds of crazy things going on. I feel like I can't tell you more other than that the first book will suck you in, and then the second book you'll be like, I need to read this right away. So there you go. Start with Kingdom of the Wicked and then go to Kingdom of the Cursed. Okay, next book. 26. Well, wouldn't you know it, 26 is one of the ones that I did in November. It was a book you think will surprise you. So let's move on to something else. Number 20. Okay, we can do this one. So card number 20 says, when you find your world is gray, look for the rainbow every day. Read a book that features your favorite color. Now, my favorite color is orange, so let's see if I can find an orange book. Alright, so we're going to go with this book that has an orange spine and orange shells all over the cover. This Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. Believe it or not, I've never read this book or the series that goes with it, and it's not completely orange, but it's got enough orange on it. I feel like it qualifies for this prompt. And yeah, I'm going to read it out of season because obviously this is a summer romance book and I'm going to read it in December. Don't care. I need something kind of light. The first 3 books are pretty heavy fantasies, so this is going to be a kind of good brain break for me. Alright, so we've picked 4 books. We've got 3 more to go. Let's see what we can get here. 23. Alright, so card number 23 says, the temperature drops, it's cold in our town. Grab a hot chocolate and let the snow fall down. Read a book that gives you winter vibes. Where are you, Christmas? Why can't I find you? Why have you gone away? My world is changing. Oh, I found one. Alright, so for this one we're going to be reading Witchwood by Taharamafi. Probably didn't say her name right after I stumbled over it the second time. Anyway, this is the book. Look how pretty it is. It's like got snowflakes and flowers, and then on the end papers you got more snowflakes. Very, very wintry vibes. The dust jacket tells us, our story begins on a frosty night. Laylee can barely remember the happier times before her beloved mother died, before her father, driven by grief, lost his wits and his way, and she was left in the sole remaining Mordashore in the village of Witchwood, destined to spend her days scrubbing the skins and souls of the dead in preparation for the afterlife. It's become easy to forget and easier still to ignore not only her ever-increasing loneliness, but the way her overworked hands are stiffening and turning silver just like her hair. But soon a pair of familiar strangers appear, and Laylee's world is turned upside down as she rediscovers color, magic, and the healing power of friendship. So this does say it is a companion to Furthermore, which I have not read, but companions usually you can read out of order, so we're going to go with this anyway. Let me know if you have read both of these and feel like I should read Furthermore before this one. Alright, let's go for book number 6. Okay, we have card number 4. Card number 4 was one of those that I read in November. It was a book with illustrations, and I read The Christmas Pig, which was outside of my regular TBR, but once I finished with my regular TBR, I read another one, so yeah, there we go. Number 12, we already looked at. Number 16, did we look at that one? Okay, so for number 16, it says, there's nothing more real than the stories of us reflected in pages. There's much to discuss. Read a contemporary book. All right, so we're going to read 10 Truths and a Dare by Ashley Elston. This is from the same author as 10 Blind Dates, which was absolutely adorable, like Christmas time contemporary romance. So this one is obviously set around the time of graduation. And we have, our main character is Olivia. It says, a senior party week, that magical in-between time after classes have ended but before graduation, chock full of gimmicky theme parties, last-minute bonding, and family traditions. Olivia couldn't be more ready. Class salutatorian, and confident in her future at LSU, she's poised to sail through the next phase of her life. But when the tiny hiccup of an unsigned PE form puts Olivia in danger of not graduating at all, she has 1 week to set things straight without tipping off her big, nosy extended family. Volunteering at a local golf tournament should do it, but since Olivia's mom equipped her phone with a tracking app, there'll be no hiding the fact that she's at the golf course instead of all the graduation parties happening at the same time. How many kids are worried about being caught at the golf course? Unless, that is, she can convince the rest of the Fab Four, her ride-or-die cousins and best friends Sophie, Charlie, and Wes, to trade phones with her and go through the motions of playing Olivia for the week. Sure, Olivia's sudden passion for golf is met with some suspicion, and sure, her grasp of the rules is a little shaky, and yes, okay, very cute off-limits boy keeps popping up in her orbit, but she is focused. She has a schedule and a plan, and nothing can possibly go wrong, right? I'm very excited for this one. All right, so we're ready for our 7th and final pick. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Number 10. Number 10 is an already read. Let's go again. 11. 11 is an already read. 12 we already got. 27. Aha, we found one. So this card says, the streets and lanes have turned to rubble before your eyes, the words all double. Read a book with a title that starts with the same letter as your name. So we need a book with a title that starts with the letter B. Do I have one of those? I think I do. I should be able to find a B title. Alright, so we have our B title, Bent Heavens by Daniel Kraus. There was a couple of different ones that I found. The other two were fantasy, and I thought I've already got several fantasies, so let's go for something different. This is a mystery, and we learn Liv Fleming's father went missing more than 2 years ago, not long after he claimed to have been abducted by aliens. Though Liv has long accepted he's dead, she hasn't given up all of their traditions. Every Sunday, she and her childhood friend Doug Monk trudged through the woods to check the traps her dad left behind. Traps he set to catch the aliens he so desperately believed were after him. As she begins her senior year, Liv decides she's done with childhood fantasies, done pretending she believes her father's absurd theories, done going through the motions for Doug's sake. But on the very day she chooses to destroy the trap, she discovers in one of them a creature so inhuman it can only be one thing. In that moment, she's faced with a painful realization her dad was telling the truth and no one believed him. Now she and Doug have a choice to make. They can turn the alien over to the authorities, or they can take matters into their own hands. So not only is this going to be a mystery, it's got sci-fi elements in there as well, and it's also short, which is helpful because some of those books are quite long. Alright, so here is my December TBR. Am I a little bit terrified? Yes. Particularly about this sucker, because look how long that is. But I've been assured that it's fantastic, so we're going to make it through. I hope you guys are heading into December in a great place for each of you, and that things are going well for you, and that you had a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate that. So there we go. I'm going to sign off now and wish you all a wonderful, magical, and bookish day. Happy reading. Adios.